There are only 2 races remaining in the Budget Truck Series here in season number 1, and our field of 36 are recharged and ready to roll to determine a champion here in the first ever season. Last time at Iowa, it was Jared Oren who took his first win of the season, stealing it away from his teammate Andrew Williams. In terms of the championship battle, Ray Gillespie and Carson Miller come into this race level pegging, 2 wins to Gillespie being the tiebreaker compared to Miller's 1. But today, they both start inside the top 10, hoping to leave here with the championship lead heading into the final race at Daytona. But anything goes here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, 33 laps around this 1.54 mile quad oval here in Hampton, Georgia. This is the Rush Truck Centers 200, the 7th race of the season here in the Budget Truck Series Season 1. Welcome everybody to Hampton, Georgia, the Atlanta Motor Speedway, here for the 7th race of the season, the Rush Truck Centers 200. My name is Stuart Gradden. Looking forward to this race here today, and as I said, anything goes. We set the record for the most ever lead changes in a Grattan Cup Series race when we were here in March. We're not going to break that record here today, given that it's only a 33 lap race and there were 37 lead changes in that Cup race, but nonetheless, this will be a very, very entertaining race, I imagine, and we'll see who could come out on top. And we have a lot of drivers that in championship contentions. You know, we got, I think it's like, 31 drivers still alive in the championship race. There certainly won't be that many by the end of the day. We need to be about 41 or so points within striking distance of the points lead. So we're going to eliminate the vast majority of the field, most likely, but it also depends on how, Ray Gillespie, Carson Miller, who are our points leaders, joint at the moment on 169 points each, how they go today as well. So we'll see how this one plays out. As I said, 33 laps and no pit stops. And this racetrack is a chaotic one. It should be a lot of fun. Let's take a look at our championship standings after 6 races. You see it on your screen right now. Ray Gillespie, Carson Miller, as I said, have the championship lead. Gillespie has the championship lead. Carson Miller's only behind on tiebreaker because Gillespie has 2 wins. He won at Pikes Peak and Indianapolis. Carson Miller won at Charlotte, and so the 2 wins compared to 1, Gillespie has the points lead. Rogaldorn is 3rd in the championship, 17 back. He's got a lot of work to do here in this race. He starts towards the rear of the field. Caleb Rose starts on the pole in the number 76, so a best possible qualifying result for Rose. 4th in points, yet to win this year, but we'll see how he goes here today. Thomas Troxell, 5th in the points, 22 behind. OS Josh has got a lot of work to do. He starts towards the rear as well. He's 6th in points. And then Nicholas Samudio is 30 back. He's slowly but surely made his way up the championship in that number 88, 7th in the points. Everybody else is a race or more behind. Alexander Rose, 8th in the championship. He's moved up a lot in the recent times. 42 points back. Carson Riggy, 43 back. And Jerry Chen, 44 back in this championship. So, for anyone that, as I said, 42 or more points back, they will be mathematically out of championship contention by the end of the day. So, a lot on the line. It is a very short series, of course. So, not unsurprising that we have so many drivers still in it, of course, with the equal ratings. And, of course, this is very different to the Cup Series, where the Cup Series got all the different variants in the ratings. And, the Truck Series, everyone's got the same ratings. So we'll see how this race plays out. Should be a lot of fun, and expecting a lot of side-by-side, a lot of passes for the lead here today. If the Cup race was any indication, let's take a look at our starting lineup with thanks to GRT. On the pole, Caleb Rose, as we said, in the 76, 4th in points. Would love a very strong day today. He's alongside Tyler Jericho in the number 81. Jericho has had a rough couple of weeks, so hoping to bounce back in that number 81. And then behind them, you've got the 42, Nathan Stapleton. Good qualifying for Stapleton. He's not had a great year so far, but starting from 3rd. Of course, he did come into the season late, so to be fair. And then Max Davis is the lowest driver in points, has made every start this year, 36th in the championship. He starts from 4th today, hoping for a good result. Ray Gillespie, our championship leader, from 5th, alongside Ryan Durrani, Isaac Nichols, and our last winner, Jared Oren, who's 11th in the points. I hope you go back to back. Duncan Ward in the 17 alongside the man who's tied for the points lead, Carson Miller in the number 25. Brendan Wilmington in the 38 alongside the runner-up from last week in Carson Green. Nicholas Samudio from 13th alongside Tim Simmons in the 52. Thomas Troxell and Andrew Williams. Williams, of course, so close to that win last week. Henry Gore and Sarah Taylor. Taylor lit the most laps last time out at Iowa. And then Jake Rogers and Carson Rickey round out the top 20. The rest starting lineup left side of your screen. I'll get these trucks to roll off here at the not Iowa, Atlanta Motor Speedway. And everybody should be rolling off here and now, and that's going to be the case, which is good to see. So, as I said, this race 33 laps in length. It's a little over 50 miles, almost 51 miles in length. No pit stops, and this race is just so vital in terms of the championship. You must have a really good day today if you want to keep yourself alive here in this championship. But of course, most of the attention will be on drivers like Rose, Gillespie, who is our championship leader, of course, Carson Miller back in there. Jared Oren will be an interesting one, given that he's now 11th in points. But Samudio back in there, the 88. There's Thomas Troxell. And then drivers towards the rear of the field, penultimate row of the grid. So Rogaldorn, we mentioned, third in the points coming in today, starting from 33rd. OS Joshi starting from 34th. Jerry Chen as well, another driver that's up there in contention. Alexander Rowe, all those guys top 10 in the points. They're all starting a long way back. So a lot of work for them to do in this race. You're going to see the pace truck dive onto pit road. There it goes. Caleb Rose and Tyler Jericho to lead the field to green. In the Rush Truck Centers 200, green flags in the air. We are underway for the 7th race of the season. I was going to say that they were pretty orderly here at the start, but now they're going to go 3 wide for the lead, and that's close at the line. Jericho on the outside just barely gets around the outside of the 76, and Jericho takes the lead here right off the start, but not wasting any time here. The 99, Ray Gillespie, already 2 wins this year, looking for number 3 to really cement himself in that top spot in this championship. But is he going to get underneath the Jericho? Rose stuck in the middle, falling back. Here comes the 99. Here comes the 26 of Nichols, who has really bemoaned his season and everything that has gone wrong for him. He's on the inside now, going for the lead. But Tyler Jericho, this is the one thing we're going to see in this race, and we did see in the Cup race, is that the inside lane, you can certainly get the momentum, and Nichols proving that now as the 26 on that inside. But the outside lane is quite strong as well. The middle lane can be quite strong here too. So, although given the way Caleb Rose started, it doesn't look like that it's particularly strong at the moment. Although, right as I say that, Ray Gillespie through the middle got a good run. Jericho with a strong run up top. Pretty close there at the line. And hopefully we're going to see a finish like that. We've had a lot of finishes like this all season long here in the Truck Series. But Nichols struggling now on the bottom. Here comes Gillespie in the 99. And even for Gillespie, he'd love a bonus point for leading a lap here in this race. Which, of course, if you lead any lap in this race, you do get that bonus point. A little advantage that Carson Miller may not have throughout the day, as Nichols again got a good run on the bottom. Jericho continues to work that outside. The 81 looks pretty strong on the top. And it's a bit of pack racing that we got at the moment. Lots of 3 wide towards the front. But as you can see, it's kind of split up a little bit towards the middle of the field at the moment. As Nichols continues to work that inside, if he could, he's not quite going to get himself clear. He saw the flames out the exhaust, then he had to get out of it just a little bit. Didn't have enough grip on that inside, and Jericho continues to lead on the outside. He's, I think, led every lap so far from the second position. Here comes the 99 again through the middle, and Nichols still on the inside. Jericho's got a good run this time, and he might get himself clear here out in front. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So Jericho, for the first time today, actually cleared out in front, but not for long, because here comes Nichols, who's able to maybe move up just a little bit, get down to that inside, and a lead change as Nichols to the front in the number 26, and he's going to bring along Brennan Wilmington in the 38 back in there. I thought someone was off the pace there at the rear of the field, but no, everyone's still all well and good. As Nichols now comes up and clears Jericho. So I know we had a lead change at the start. Rose lost the lead to Jericho, but might register the first proper lead change of the day. Here comes Brennan Wilmington, who's had not a great season in the 38. Did have a strong day at Charlotte, but that's the only time he's really run quite well. Here he is on the inside. He pushed Nichols to the front, and he's trying to get himself to the lead of the race. And Gillespie is fighting back here in the middle. So, he's pretty desperate to maintain him, kind of that front spot in the middle groove at the moment. And maybe get himself alongside the 38 and the 26. He's certainly alongside the 26. Wilmington's going to move. He's not going to move up yet. The 38 is clear of the 99. And Wilmington actually led at the line this time. And now he gets up and clears Gillespie. Here comes the 76 of Rose. He's bringing Troxel and Oren and Williams. And now Carson Miller. I was going to say Miller was stuck in the middle. Now he's got down to the inside. So we'll see if that pays dividends for the 25. You can see now they're starting to break up just a little bit. Not much, given that there's still a lot of 3 wide up and down this field. They're just starting to break up just a little bit here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it's been a pulsating first 9 laps so far, and a long way to go here in this race. It's Nichols. Now with Jericho behind, Wilmington on the inside here in the 38 continues to work, but can't get that to pay off. Can't get the drive through the corner, then on the exit as well. We got the drive there through turn 3. It's more so out of 4. He actually got a good run that time. Moved up just a little bit. Darker surface, more grip. And he moves up, he gets himself to the lead, gets another lap led. Troxel's now driving pretty hard. He's just shoved Caleb Rose to the middle of the track. And now he's 3 wide on the inside. Won that race at Willow Springs, and what a race it was. Do you have to wonder, with Troxel, if he didn't get involved in that crash at Homestead where he qualified on the pole that night, first race of the season, where would he be in the points in comparison to where he is currently? 5th in points, but I guess you could say that about a lot of drivers. A lot of drivers had at least something go wrong. He's getting a big shot now to the inside and trying to go 3 wide for the lead. Was there 3 wide in the lead, but couldn't hang on that inside. Might move up to the middle behind Gillespie, and now they're 2x2 out in front. Gillespie looks very racy here in the 99. I don't think the field would want to see the 99 win a 3rd race of the season. Especially guys like Wilmington and Nichols, who have had not great seasons. Same with Jericho. Jericho was top 10 in the points for much of the season. It's just the last couple of weeks. But, they don't really want to see the 99, I imagine, winning this race. Probably none more so than the guys that are right in championship contention. Carson Miller, Thomas Troxel, Caleb Rose, all in this pack of drivers. Even Samudio back in there in the 88. Alexander Rose actually made a decent chunk of ground here off the stars. Has made his way forward. So it's fascinating to see how this racing works here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lots of lines, lots of different lines work, and it's just a matter of time you run to perfection. The two of the major combatants from last week trying to work together and push each other to the lead. Oren, with a bit of assistance from his teammate Williams on the inside. You've got the 19, you've got the 25. Jerry Chandler's made a lot of ground here in the start. The 16, he's moved his way forward as Oren washed up just a little bit. Got a bit close to the 38 there, but all's well that ends well. Gillespie's going to be able to get down to the inside. Williams got a shocker of a run out of turn 4. Still side by side for the lead. Wilmington got a good run. Going to get up and clear. Yes, he does. That was a great camera angle. Wilmington to the lead in the 38. Here comes Oren. Here comes Gillespie, Andrew Williams, Carson Miller. So quite a few of the heavy hitters in here and in contention. Jared, given the way the 99 and the 25 are running, he probably needs to win this race to keep himself alive here in the championship. As Wilmington is going to take the bottom lane. It's not always the preferred lane here at Atlanta, but he's going to carry enough momentum to get himself clear of the 26. He's actually doing a really nice job here in this 38. Being able to control the lead. This is, right now, we're talking about controlling the lead. Well, Carson Miller's trying to control the championship lead. Here he's on the inside, and he's got a huge run. Nichols got back to the outside of the 38, and he's going to retake the lead. So it's all kind of going on, and everybody... Oh, there's a bit of 4 wide. That was close. I think that was Davis and Rose that were in the kind of in the middle of that group. How about Carson Miller, though? He got a great run on the inside, and he's going to take the lead, and this is what we talked about with Gillespie before. It'd be good for him to lead a lap and get a bonus point. Nichols had a terrible turn 3. He's going to leave it vulnerable here to Jericho. So this is big now for Carson Miller. He's going to get a lap later right there. That's a bonus point towards the championship. We're over halfway through this race, by the way. And now he's out in front. So now, if you're Gillespie, now you want to get up there to the front. You want to take the lead and get a lap led, get a bonus point. Nichols got a good enough run to get himself clear back to second. He's going to find the right place to make a move, and it's not going to be easy for him to do. How about Carson Miller, though? Hey, we haven't seen this particularly much at all. A driver actually pull out in front. Well, that's exactly what he's done, and here he is, leading here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Wilmington again on the inside. How about some other drivers we haven't seen up here so far today? Ashley Caboose has had a terrible season. 22, working her way forward. Got the 12 of Casa Green. Hey, Casa Green ran very well last time out. He's hoping to go one better here today. He's working his way forward, trying to get up towards where his teammate is in the 25. You got Rogers, Perez, Davenport, all on that inside. We haven't really seen any of those guys today. Logan Williams as well, so it's an interesting mix up and down the field. But look at this. I mean, they're just... It's like a pyramid at the front. You got the car out, you got the truck out in front, you got the 25, and then you got 2 and then 3 wide behind. Although pyramid's going to get destroyed here because here comes Carson Green in the number 12. He's going to go 3 wide, and hey, he looks very racy here at the moment. On that inside lane, working his way up, he shoved Caboose to the middle. There's Nichols now on that outside again. The outside very strong. Got a lot of momentum off the corner. Saw some drivers make moves on the outside of the track. That was... I don't know what happened there. That was weird. I think maybe something happened to Carson Miller, potentially. Here comes Carson Green. 3 wide on the inside, but can't make it work. But Miller's still out front. He's been able to control this race since taking the lead. Very, very impressive so far, although right on cue. Good surge of momentum here for Wilmington, and close to the line. 38 wins that little drag race and takes the lead at the stripe. We saw Wilmington get himself clear of Nichols before. He's not going to be in this position, but he's not going to get himself clear here. He's going to go up in front of the 26. Here comes the 12 with a big shot from, hey, Jake Rogers. Rogers has won here at Atlanta before. He ran very well in both Atlanta Cup races. He finished second in both of them. So he knows how to run this track, although he didn't get a good run there. And look at this, 3 wide again. Carson Green's desperate for a race win. He's on, trying to get the inside. That was close then. I don't know if there was actual contact back in there between Miller and Wilmington, but it was close, and they are 4 wide. You got Perez, Oren, Chen, and Williams, Andrew Williams that is, on the outside in the 19. And look at this, it's still 4 wide now. Logan Williams is going to go down on the inside, but Andrew gets a good run off the top, gets himself clear. Everybody gets themselves under control, and now Wilmington back out in front. Jericho now to the inside. He has not been on the inside basically all day. Well, here he is trying to work his way back up, and now you got the 2 leaders in the championship. Nose to tail. Miller right in front of Gillespie. So it might just come down to these 2. Really. We haven't seen any of Rogel Dawn here in this race. Caleb Rose hasn't really shown very much at all. And now Miller's going to try and get to the outside of the 38. Wilmington's going to come up and block. He tried to block. Gave him a little bit of space there. He's done enough to just get Miller out of the throttle. The gas, rather. Right out. Just enough. Just did enough there, Wilmington. But now he's vulnerable here to Jericho. It's been quite a remarkable race, and I've got to get the vocal cords ready, because I reckon we're going to have another side-by-side finish. We've had a lot of side-by-side finishes. First 4 races. We didn't get a side-by-side finish at Iowa, but did get a last lap pass for the win in that one. And look at this. I mean, it's Wilmington getting pushed by Miller, and then it's a double file behind it, Jericho and Miller, and then you got 3 wide, and even then, here comes Jericho now to the inside. So it's all going on. Number 81 is back out in front, and they're 4 wide again behind with Williams of the Logan variety. Jared Oren, Jerry Chen, this time Ashley Caboose is the driver on the outside, and there's a bit of contact between the 16 and the 22. But they keep it off of each other eventually. Well, they do enough to not wreck, rather. And look at this. I mean, there's a bit of a gap back to the trucks behind. You got Rose, Durrani, Taylor, Davenport. It's not been easy to make moves. Rose, Alexander Rose back in there. And there's Nicholas Samudio, Rogel Dawn. And I think OS Joshi has lost the group. Yeah, Mateus Bento and OS Joshi have just flat out lost the pack. So not looking good for the 93 in particular here in this championship. But Brendan Wilmington is now working that outside, and he continues to lead. Nichols worked his way to the middle, got underneath the 99, but he's got Williams still on the inside. And Williams is going to get down underneath and force the 26 to remain in that middle line. But Wilmington, this is almost like watching a race at Daytona, where Wilmington's just blocking the lanes and the surge of momentum. It's like watching real-life Atlanta. Modern day and age. But here comes Carson Miller with a big surge of momentum on the outside. Is he going to get alongside the 38? Yes, he is. 5 to go this time. Wilmington at the line, but he may not have the lead for much longer, because here comes Carson Miller with Gillespie in tow on the outside lane. And be careful, they're going 4 wide again. Nichols, Williams of the Andrew variety. And they all get out of it, luckily, in the end. But here we go. First and second in the points. They were tied in points coming into this race. Are about to be 1-2 on the racetrack. Carson Miller back out in front here at Atlanta with 4 to go. Ray Gillespie in second. Good luck to the rest of the field. Wilmington in third. He's going to get himself... Oh, I thought he was going to get himself clear, but Brain Perez drove it in there pretty hard on that outside. Nichols going through the middle. Nichols will have to back out, back on that outside. Perez with a big surge of momentum. Don't count him out. He has slowly but surely worked his way up in this race. But Carson Miller again, like we saw earlier on, he's out in clean air. He's been able to pull away. He's now got 3 laps to go. But here comes the 38 of Wilmington. You got Jericho on the inside as well. Jared Oren is just desperate to make some ground up in this 91. But I feel like every time he tries to make that 4-wide move, he loses more ground. Not working out for him at the moment. But it may just come down to the 2 championship leaders. With Miller and then Gillespie. 2 to go this time. No issues. Everybody keeping it together. How about Wilmington? He's worked his way back on that inside. And here he goes side by side to the line with 2 to go. Wilmington back out in front in the 38. He's on the inside here in the corners. Can he make it work? Or will Miller and Gillespie get that outside lane? Use that to their advantage. Looks like Miller's going to get the advantage. Jericho dropped off on that inside. Big serve of momentum here for Miller and for Gillespie. And here we go. We're going to get the white flag this time. Gillespie's trying to get the run on the outside. Here we go. It's going to get good here. Gillespie's on the outside of Miller. Here we go. White flag in the air. 1 to go. Gillespie at the line. Can he get his 3rd win of the year? Or will it be Miller? The 2 championship leaders, first and second. Gillespie on the outside, Miller on the inside, with Perez and Wilmington the pushers. Gillespie gets clear on that outside lane. He gets clear of Miller down the back. Can Ray Gillespie hold on? Braid Perez is on the outside as well. Here comes the 15. Gillespie's going to move up. Here comes Miller down low. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Miller inside, Gillespie on the outside. And Gillespie gets him for his 3rd win of the season. Ray Gillespie wins at Atlanta. And he will head to Daytona with the championship lead. but not by much, because Carson Miller finishes in second. That was very, very close. A quarter of a tenth the difference. And I thought for all money. I really thought for all money that maybe Brad Perez was going to get to the outside, but Gillespie did enough. How about this 99? 3 wins now in a 7-race season to date. He has been nothing short of awesome. And that margin heading to Daytona, you'll see the points in a moment, but I'd imagine it'd be something along the lines of 5 points. And then who else is in it? I actually don't know who else could possibly be in it. It's probably just going to come down to those two in terms of this championship battle. But here are the results from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. In the Rush Truck Centers 200, Ray Gillespie beats Carson Miller. The top 2 in the championship finish, first and second. Brad Perez in third, Brennan Willington, Andrew Williams, the top 5. Jerry Chen did a pretty good job, but he's not going to stay in championship hunt. Same can be said for Oren. Tyler Jericho's first top 10 of the year. Isaac Nichols' first top 10 of the year. And Duncan Ward ended up in the 10th position. You look down the rest of the order. Carson Green, Jake Rogers, Logan Williams, Ashley Caboose, and Sarah Taylor. Caleb Rose, who started on the pole, did not lead a lap in this race. In the 76, he ended up down in the 16th position. And that's probably his championship done. Going to be hard to come back from there for him. Stapleton, Davenport, Hubert, and Rowe. Season over for Alexander Rowe. Championship hopes are done and dusted. Ryan Durrani in 21st. Inamatsu, Davis, Thomas Troxel, and Nicholas Samudio. Their season's probably, certainly Samudio's is done and dusted, and I'd probably say the same for Troxel as well. I think he's out of it. And then you've got Tim Simmons, Dominic Anthony, Rogel Dawn. Not looking good for Dawn. He was nowhere in this race. That's probably could well be season over for him as well. Probably the case, unfortunately, for the 44. Benny Watson, Roberto Crown Jr., the top 30. And then Koshma, Trajan Hawk, Carson Riggy, Henry Gore, Mateus Bento dropped off the pack. And same can be said for OS Joshi, who was a long, long way off the pace. There must have been a mechanical issue on that 93 truck because he was a long, long way off the pace. 22 seconds off the win. And here we go for the all-important point standings. And you can see there's a lot of red on this graphic because there are only 3 drivers mathematically still alive. Ray Gillespie has a 5-point lead over Carson Miller. It is almost certainly going to go down to those two. Caleb Rose mathematically still alive in the 76, but he's going to have to win the race at Daytona and have Gillespie and Miller have massive problems, and that's, I'm going to be honest, I don't think that's particularly likely, but we'll see. He is still mathematically alive in the number 76, and then Rogel Dawn on down, all out of championship contention. Quite remarkable to see only 3 drivers mathematically still alive, but that's what happens when the top 2 in points finish up at the front. Look down the order, lots of very interesting drivers. Tales of woe throughout the season. A lot of, certainly in comparison to Gillespie and Miller, who have sub-10 average finishes. Lots of up and down results for a lot of these guys. And reflected in the points, I mean, it's just super tight in the middle pack, in the mid-pack of the championship. Still very, very close, and a lot to play out. So lots of, well, they're all just racing. Everyone's just racing for pride, basically, here at the end of the season. And Daytona, it's going to be very, very interesting. And that might be a race that qualifying could be really, really important. We saw both Gillespie and Miller start inside the top 10. They hovered around all day. But likely it will come down to one of those two, maybe Caleb Rose. But highly unlikely, I think it would be fair to say. It seems almost certain that it'll go to one of the 99 or the 25. And we will determine that next Monday night, the 3rd of August at 7 p.m. at the Daytona International Speedway. A lot to look forward to there. Should be a very, very interesting race at the World Center of Racing. And then, after that, hopefully we'll get into some Cup Series stuff. The Grand Cup Series is approaching rapidly. I'm looking forward to that, of course, to Season 7 as well. So, congratulations to Ray Gillespie on his 3rd win of the season, and we'll see everybody next time out at the Daytona International Speedway.